The other thing, I haven't done any episodes on this recently, but in the past, I've done a few on this. One of the most fascinating was with Dr. David Yaden, who's at Johns Hopkins, is he's been trying to study psilocybin and its effects on these same types of conditions. And the thing he told me was right now, talk therapy, its efficacy is somewhere around 30%, where psilocybin, MDMA are showing as high as 65 to 70% efficacy. And it goes back to the question I asked earlier about breath work, meditation. Could some of these mind altering drugs also be having an impact on the vagus nerve?
Yes, they absolutely could. When you look at the clinical effects of these various drugs, some of them slow heart rate. So, again, using our simplest definition of vagus nerve stimulation, if you consume a drug and your heart rate slows, and presumably we're talking about drugs that affect primarily the brain, not a beta blocker or something that
Right.
slows your heart through the sympathetic nervous system. But if you take psilocybin, one of the other psychoactive drugs, and your heart rate slows, then you have quote unquote stimulated your vagus nerve. Have you stimulated the vagus nerve fibers to your pancreas? No one knows. Have you stimulated the vagus nerve fibers to your immune system? No one knows.
Who knows?
So the problem isn't with saying vagus nerve stimulation. The problem is with assuming that the vagus nerve fibers all have to fire together. All of us can walk and chew gum at the same time. Some people can play the piano and carry on a conversation at the same time. That's because each of those neurons in your body, in your brain and in your spinal cord and in your autonomic nervous system, all of these neurons, as I said before, they have a specific origin, a specific destination, and a specific function. And they can operate separately. And so treating the vagus nerve as a solid copper wire, which is what, frankly, much of the self-help advice on in those billions of web impressions is based on the idea, well, you can hum and you stimulate your vagus nerve, and then your life is better because you've stimulated your vagus nerve. Well, maybe, right? So you have, again, a few hundred or 1,000 fibers of your vagus nerve in your neck branch off and go to your voice box, go to your larynx. And they are very important signals that control your vocal cords. So when you hum, those fibers in your vagus nerve are very busy controlling your vocal cords. Does that mean that the fibers controlling your heart are activated? No. Does it mean the fibers to your pancreas and stomach are activated? No. And the answer is maybe they are, but we don't know that. The fact that you hum and feel better may be because you've slowed your breathing. And when you slow your breathing, you change your carbon dioxide levels. And when you change your carbon dioxide levels, you get different feedback to your brain. Every one of these quote unquote simple things is doing thousands of other things to your body that could also be influencing your state of mind and how you feel. So, yes, humming stimulates the branches of your vagus nerve to your voice box. But whether I can't stress this enough, the differential activities of the individual fibers is really the opportunity to do better for our future knowledge and for our future patients. There's no harm in talking about the vagus nerve as a solid copper wire. There wouldn't necessarily be much harm in that, except that a lot of people are trying to profiteer from it and sell things that will do this, that, or the other thing on your neck or somewhere else to stimulate your vagus nerve when there's no evidence that actually is stimulating your vagus nerve. And so the profit margin fits into this. And as a scientist and as an inventor, I also do worry about how some of this outright false information actually dilutes the importance of the important new science that comes out and has supported things like this FDA approval.